In the latest episode of Game of Thrones, Season 8, Episode 3, The Battle of Winterfell, Arya Stark killed the Night King. This is obviously a pretty controversial end to a pivotal antagonist character in the show. The reason it's controversial is mostly due to the shock factor of the reveal. Arya Stark throughout the show has had no connection to the Night King storyline, and so therefore it's a surprise that she kills him. Many fans predicted that Jon Snow or Bran Stark or even Daenerys would be the one to kill the Night King,
Dracarys,
as the storylines have been connected for a reasonably long time. The first point I want to make, Arya Stark killing the Night King is actually a major disappointment to a lot of fans, and there are a number of reasons as to why. The first reason I think most people feel is because this was Jon's kill. Ever since the Night King was introduced in season 4, he has been heavily linked to Jon Snow's character. There are various episodes, including Hard Home and Beyond the Wall, where we see an intense stare-off, for a lack of a better word, between Jon and the Night King. There are arguments to be made that Jon shouldn't have killed the Night King because it would be very predictable. But the reason it's predictable is because they've built up to this confrontation between the Night King and Jon Snow since forever ago, pretty much. Jon Snow's storyline has always been about defending people against the White Walkers. Ever since he joined the Night's Watch and discovered that White existed and that people were being raised from the dead to fight for the Night King, he's been very intent on trying to stop this from spreading and trying to be a part and a key part of stopping this invasion, pretty much. It's his main story. This is Jon's storyline. Now, you can make an argument that Jon did have a very important part to play in this battle because he was the one who got all of the forces together to face off against the White Walkers. He was the one who got Daenerys on board. He was the one who got Davos on board and Stannis originally, and the Wildling. And he was the one who was declared.
This is Jon Snow. He's king in the north.
And that's true, but there was tension building up to a one-on-one face-off toward Jon and the Night King. It didn't necessarily have to happen, but it was something we did all expect. Jon, after knocking the Night King off the dragon, really doesn't do anything in the battle, and even before that he doesn't do an awful lot. So it's understandable that a lot of fans feel a lot of disappointment that Jon didn't have more of a part to play in this battle, because his parts in it were honestly quite underwhelming, and it seemed there should have been something more. Now it seems as though Jon's storyline is over without Jon having played a major part in the culmination of his story, which is upsetting for Jon and for us as fans to see him not get his ending. The second reason this is disappointing is for another member of Arya's family, Bran. This was also one of his major storylines. Bran, as Three-Eyed Raven pits himself as the reason as to why the Night King is coming to Winterfell, is trying to face him off. He's the reason why, with Bran dead, mankind is dead. That's the argument he makes.
Well, he'll come for me. He's tried before, many times, with many three-eyed ravens.
So it's really odd that in the actual battle we don't get a sense of Bran actually having any role whatsoever. While Jon's role might have been quite minimal, Bran's was non-existent. The only hope we had was him warging in this battle, which we see him do, but then it never goes anywhere. He wargs and then that's the end of it. and then Arya kills the Night King. There should have been more to him. There was really a lack of depth in writing Bran's character since the adaptational seasons of the show have ended. They've really not known what to do with him, and it's really become very apparent at this point. I mean, in the books, this storyline wouldn't exist because the Night King doesn't exist in the books, at least so far. But they made Bran's storyline in the show about the Night King. They made it about that, and then they did nothing with it. And that's really quite unbelievable. With both Bran and Jon's storylines wrapped up with the Night King dying, it's hard to know what else these two characters will really have to do in the remaining 3 episodes to be released. Unless there's another twist, which, is possible but unlikely at this point, that they could really do a satisfactory twist with any of this. Jon being Aegon Targaryen is I guess a major point, but
he'd have a claim to the Iron Throne.
Does he want the throne? I don't think he would. I don't think he would have any interest in it, and Bran definitely has no interest in really helping them out with the fight for the throne. At least he shouldn't, to keep in character with what he's been doing so far. So the whole thing just seems like they've wasted these two characters' storylines in order to give Arya a kill she didn't need.
The Night King! He saw me!
He touched you.
I don't know.
Speaking of which, Arya's main storyline had already been told. Arya at this point should have been more of a supporting main character than a main character, because she had her character arc wrapped up in season 7. It was done. There wasn't anything more complicated to do with it. She just needed to be present in the battle and to help out, but she didn't need to be the one who killed the Night King. Arya's main storyline was always about her identity and coming to grips with being Arya Stark. We see her struggle with this all the way from season 1 till season 6, when she, is saying she doesn't want to be a lady and she wants to learn to fight, and then she's pretending to be a boy, then she's pretending to be a lowborn girl in Harrenhal as she's captive to Tywin Lannister, and then she's captive Arya Stark with the Hound, and she's no one when she's training in Braavos. And it's not until season 6 we finally see Arya become Arya Stark.
A girl is Arya Stark of Winterfell, and I'm going home.
She's happy to be Arya Stark of Winterfell again. And this was the point where she realizes she can be Arya Stark of Winterfell and Arya Stark who gets revenge for her family's unlawful deaths. And she does this through killing the Freys. The Freys obviously played the biggest role in the deaths of her brother Robb Stark and her mother Catelyn Stark. And she kills every single Frey. And she even feeds Frey's sons to him in a pie. She got that cathartic ending to her storyline, and it was a great payoff because it had been building up to that point for so long. With her killing the Night King, she had no payoff. There's no emotional feeling to her killing the Night King because she had no connection to the Night King. If it had been Jon who had done it, or Bran who had done it, or even Daenerys who had done it, because the Night King did kill her dragon, there would have been more feeling involved. It was unnecessary for her to really have this moment, especially as it was simultaneously a detriment to 2 other main characters' storylines. It just took away so much from them and gave her so little that it seems really imbalanced, and it's just really bad storytelling at the end of the day.